No, I mean, hopefully it's like a nice little coral garden like we've seen on some of the other knolls on the last dive, but...
Yeah, this is looking different from previous dives. We're still at a much deeper depth, though. But
we might be able to get there in our
Video, can you
watch.
give me a zoom?
It's only 300 meters left.
To the next waypoint?
Well, almost 400 actually.
Oh, it's this again. Okay, go wide.
Yeah, the thing about moral support, you know, like, oh, it's this thing again.
Yeah, it's a good thing you can't hear me.
We only cheer on the healthy ones.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of terrible.
Yeah, but the other ones need our cheering on.
I know.
Step. Step.
I was gonna say colder. Let's see the gauge.
Oh, yes.
Bridge nav, step again, please.
Is that like 85 or something? Am I looking at that right?
Go for zoom.
That's high. Yeah.
So you were complaining earlier about the units in the melting point of titanium, and now you're accepting a reading in these units?
I know, but I mean, it's...
When it comes to comfort, you like it more in that unit.
No, I don't. That's what it says. I can't...
Ah.
It's 85? What's that? That's like 30, 32?
No, it doesn't feel like 30.
No,
You
up there in the rack it is, though.
Okay. Do you use metric or imperial in Canada?
Go wide.
We use both.
Oh my God, that's
Very
even
confused.
That's even worse.
The best of both
Depends
worlds.
what you're talking about. Temperature is like metric, but then all the construction things,
Yeah.
that's all imperial. Speed is metric. Fluid is both.
Both?
Ounces and liters.
Ounces and liters. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wasn't there some NASA probe that failed because...
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Bridge
one,
nav, step please.
Is that true? Is
Yes.
one team
Yeah,
did
yeah.
something
It is
in
true.
imperial and one did something in metric, or they didn't convert something correctly, I forget.
Yeah.
Was it NASA's?
No, so what actually happened was that when they were building the satellite, the U.S. team had converted it to metric before sending it off to, I think, the European Space Agency, but maybe it was Russia. And when they got it, they thought it hadn't been converted yet, and so then they reconverted it, and then the numbers were very wrong.
Big mushroom coral.
Very
now?
wrong. Yeah, wow.
Oh, did you want to see the mushroom coral?
No, it's okay.
It's just another mushroom coral.
I
We
like
haven't,
mushroom
seen,
coral.
we haven't seen that many on this watch.
We've been seeing them like periodically. We've actually been
Go
seeing
for zoom.
that one that has the longer stem, and then, for lack of a better term, the more mushroomy one. They're both mushroom corals, but I don't know the species.
Go wide. Go half wide or something. Good. That's great right there.
So Dwight, what do you think are the factors that might contribute to part of these seamounts having like a lot more sand versus the areas that are a lot more like bouldery? What do you think causes that difference?
Step.
Yep.
Bridge nav, step
yeah,
please.
it's a good question. I think it's probably just erosion of the summit of the seamount. You know.
Go wide.
All of this. It's hard for me to tell if these boulders are attached to bedrock or if they're loose.
Oh, I bet if you ask the pilots, they will
Crowbar.
they will.
Crowbar.
You think it's it's bedrock?
I think it's attached.
Yeah, I suspect you're right.
So I have another question for you, Dwight.
Yeah.
How is sand formed?
It's
Erosion.
It's just tiny rocks.
It's stupid. It's just tiny.
No,
rocks.
but like, like how does this sand like? Is that
Go for
sand
zoom.
that is the result of eroding this seamount, or is it sand that was eroded in another place,
Well,
transported here?
in
There's no
theory-
way to know that.
Well, in theory, the top of the seamount was a sandy environment at one point. Like, picture where we were on Howland and Baker Islands.
Yeah.
And that was all sand, right, pretty much?
Yeah.
And then that sank, you know, imagine that sinking down to this depth.
Uh-huh.
could the sand be preserved somehow as, ultimately sand turns into sandstone, given millions of years
Yeah.
and heat and compression and things. Well, when a sandstone erodes, it just creates the sand that was used to make it up in the first place, right? So if the summit of this guyot is like
Go wide.
coralline sand or limestone or sandstone or some other sedimentary rock, it would erode into this stuff we're looking at.
Yeah, but
So-
the sedimentary rock is formed by this stuff.
Yeah, it's just going
That's
through
a
another
vicious cycle.
Try and
Like,
push back
How
out
how
front
did
there,
how
Gabby.
did it all start?
Vicious. Okay. Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the Earth evolves, right? So think about like what's going on in Hawaii now. There was the volcanic rock, right? That volcanic rock starts to erode away. It creates soils. You get vegetation growing on those soils, and then along the beach you get more erosion because of the wave activity there. So there you're breaking apart rocks more. And so it's a combination of some that's why like at volcanoes, like at Santorini, you have black sand beaches because it's a lot of the erosion of the basaltic rock, not like limestone or sandstone formations, right?
Uh-huh.
We can have another step.
So my guess is that, yeah, this material, the sediment that you're looking at is not typical deep sea muds, right? This is sand eroded from the
Oh, really?
top of the seamount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa, that's a tall guy.
Ooh, he came out of nowhere.
Right. Okay.
We can cancel it if you
I
want.
will in the future.
I mean, the good thing is that the ship is doing its thing
Right.
of like
Yeah.
taking
Of taking a second.
taking a second before doing the
Yeah.
move.
I think I.
Gabby, can we get a quick zoom on that yellow coral that we're just going by on the right? Yeah. Yep, same guy. Looked a little bit different from a distance, but thanks.
Sorry. Go wide. Yeah, I'm tracking now. I saw you like letting yourself get behind before, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, and I
Yeah.
didn't put it together that you were judging the slope
Yeah, if we're on the
as you did that.
well, if
The rocks are starting to change a little bit up here.
Ooh.
Are we still looking for a sample?
Dwight's always looking for a rock to sample.
Dwight and Gabby,
Yeah, I do like picking up rocks.
do you apply the same thing when you go on a hike, for instance?
No.
No,
No.
then you don't like it. when it's supposed an actual effort, then you don't like it.
Wait, it's an actual effort.
When
to
she has a
sample
$1 million
rock.
robot,
That's
she's
when
all
she's
about it.
driving her robot around.
Yeah, that's
That's right.
hard.
Like body weight effort.
Yeah, have you tried that, Master? It's
No,
full. It's full
never-
of depleted uranium.
Yeah.
They never.
Have you seen my forearms? They're huge.
They never let me. Just like if you want, I can try it. But
no, it's too heavy for you.
I agree.
You couldn't do
I
it.
haven't been exercising for how many days have been out here? So those many plus 3. So I wouldn't trust myself on anything that.
Our depleted uranium master. All ROV pilots are super jacked.
For you viewers at home, just so you can picture it.
Popeye forearms. No, I'm kidding. I'm full of it. It's not what it's like at all.
Gabby, you were so close.
So close to what?
People at home
They don't need to know.
thinking
Oh.
you guys were all really jacked.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is really hard what they do. So,
It's fairly
No.
hard, but it involves brain muscle.
yeah.
Can this master thing have 2 arms, or is it because I see
Yeah,
there's
it can. No, that doesn't. It can, but
Go.
I guess that
go
must
in.
be difficult to
Zoom-
control with 2
Zoom
arms.
video?
yes, it really. Yeah, it's not.
Okay, that's our old friend, but we're gonna go
It's a
over
bit of
here
wishful
to the
thinking.
left.
It really wants like 2 hands on them. One.
But does it get like when you operate the arm? Does the joints block and you have to move them, or
They can. There is a mode that does that. I call it a
Okay.
force feedback mode. But
maybe with that mode you can actually do something with the 2 arms, because otherwise you have to actually hold
yeah,
the,
you have
the
to
joints.
hold. You have to hold it up all the time, right?
Yeah.
Is that a tiny little sea cucumber
Yeah.
next to the mushroom coral?
Can you go for a little tighter? Just a tiny one.
So now you are far ahead. Another step.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bridge nav step, please.
Can you guys explain what
Okay,
the
go wide.
control looks like that you use to like maneuver the claw for our viewers so they can
Claw.
start to picture it a little better?
It basically looks like a miniature version of the arm. So we refer to them as a master and a slave, as like kind of a computer hardware language. So the controller is the master and it drives the slave arm on the vehicle. And they look pretty similar. They have joints in the same places. I mean, it's a different color and it's got buttons on the on the end of it instead of a actual jaw.
Can you
But
give me a zoom?
beyond that, it's not like we drive it around with a PlayStation controller or something. That we use like a miniature version of it with joints in all the right places.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see you guys do that.
It's an analog. It's a
Yes.
It's an analog to the arm, because actually these have rotatory joints, but the arm has pistons, no? At least for
it
the
has some
yeah.
rotary joints.
Yeah.
at least for the first 2 joints, no? Well,
It's
the
the
second 2 joints
Right.
are pistons, no?
In the slave arm?
In the slave arm.
Yeah, the shoulder and the elbow are linear cylinders.
Oh, linear.
Linear
cylinders.
actuators,
That,
like cylinders.
that sounds much better than pistons. Sorry.
Okay, go wide.
Same.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just laughing.
Actually, the jaw open and close is a little cylinder too.
It's been calmer. Like the thing is like
Yeah.
less shaky.
Mm-hmm.
We're not maxing out the
The
jet
ship's
pump.
not making a racket. USBL is great. or
Bridge
better.
nav step, please.
that, was
Improved.
that was kind of a strong statement.
Yeah. Oh, look at this thing.
Yeah, look at this thing.
Gramophone sponge.
A gramophone sponge.
That's
a
a big
sousaphone
one.
sponge.
Maybe there's a squat lobster home.
Yeah, another.
Another king squat lobster.
King.
That's how they
Or-
talk
or
to each other
queen.
over great distances. just
It's actually wired together.
In San Francisco,
Yeah.
you have that in the explorator, like in the entrance of the exploratorium. You have this kind of like this shape, this shape that you can sit in, and there's another one like
Oh, really?
50 meters away.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you've been to the exploratorium. We've docked there many
No, I
times.
haven't been in there. I've only docked there once,
Go
and
for
it wasn't
Zoom?
open at the time.
No, it's like on the
Oh,
in
it's
front.
outside.
Yeah.
Oh, I just didn't notice it. Oh, cool.
So it's like you have these two parabolas,
Yeah.
and you just can sit in one of them and somebody in the other one, and it's like tens of meters away, and you don't have to shout at all.
Are we leaving from there in October at some point? I think we are.
We're going in there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I come back. I fly into San Francisco. Maybe I can use this.
This chair system
This
for
chair
talking
telephone
like a
system.
squat lobster.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
Oh, this is a pretty neat little swirl thing going on.
My university bar had a dome where like that was very annoying because depending on the seat that you had within the like it was a bar with different tables,
Yeah.
and depending on which tables you were sitting, you could clearly see hear the conversation of somebody else at the opposite side
Right.
of the bar. And it was like so annoying, and it's because of the shape, the dome shaped of the
Yeah.
Okay, go wide.
cover of the ceiling. It was horrible. But yet it was the bar, so we had to go there.
That's right. Yeah. Need to put up with it.
Another step.
Yes.
Bridge nav, step please. Oh man, we will get past waypoint 3.
Nice.
Past waypoint 3 means downhill for a bit. No, it's not that nice.
Oh, I don't want to go downhill.
Then we are stuck up in waypoint 3.
Maybe
Oh.
waypoint 3 will be a beautiful coral garden and we'll spend a lot of time there.
Ooh,
Oh,
I
that would be
hope
delightful
so.
with tons of rocks.
And octopuses.
Oh, yeah. We're getting a little carried away here.
We're just hopeful, you know. We have an 8th grade class in Australia. It seems like they're tuning in with some questions for us,
Nice.
which is awesome. Thanks, guys, for watching.
In
Um,
Australia?
But yeah,
Isn't that Sunday?
yeah. I don't know.
No, it's Monday.
No, it
there.
is Monday there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So first question: what is the greatest depth in which we've found organisms? Which is pretty broad. Which would probably just be the deepest that we've ever anywhere we've gone with the Nautilus, right? Or I guess with Hercules and Argus.
Well, didn't they find hadal fish at the bottom of the Marianas Trench?
Yeah,
we
Sarah was
found-
mentioning that the other night, right?
We have found organisms and plastic everywhere that we've been.
Oh, sad.
Go for Zoom video.
Step.
So what did
yeah.
they see at the bottom of the
Bridge
Marianas
nav,
Trench?
step,
Or
please.
Go wide.
what have we observed there?
A plastic bag.
No, the
No, but life.
creature.
The life that's there.
Something fish?
Well,
The Mariana
Yeah, they-
snailfish.
yeah, they put the benthic landers down, right? And that were trapped. They had not traps, baited, and they had video cameras on the benthic
It's-
landers, and they put bait down, and
Yes,
these
it
hadal
is.
fish came and ate the bait.
Wow.
Can I see this?
I have one question for science. Are the water samples that we
Same.
take can
Same.
they be used also for microplastic detection and seeing like all these things that are like always appearing in the news, like the ocean is full of microplastics, blah blah. Blah.
Sure.
Is that also a measure that we take from our Niskin bottles, or
We don't.
We
No.
We're
don't.
not doing that.
You could.
You would need to use a different filter type to
Okay.
trap them.
Yeah.
Come Gramophone.
Oh yeah, it looks like another one.
Yes.
Are there any more questions from the grade 8 class?
They just typed in another one. How do we classify new species when we find them? Maybe Sarah, you could talk a little bit about like the sampling you do and then where we send things.
Yeah, so for animals, it's quite a process for new species to get identified. Generally, here we do our best to see what looks uncommon to us and sample it if we can. And then once we have those samples, we try to identify experts in that particular group of animals. So out there's experts in sponges and corals, in worms, and all these different groups of animals. So we'll identify an expert and we can send the sample to the expert who will look at it and try to confirm if it is indeed a new species. And then if it is, there's a long process of giving a
Go for zoom.
physical
All the way.
description, looking at the genetics, trying to see how it relates to the other species that we do know, and then it's submitted to a board to be named. And generally the person who is identifying it as a new species is the one who names it.
So that'd be the expert
Yeah.
naming it? So it wouldn't be you?
No.
Oh, that's a pity. I bet,
Okay,
I
go
bet
on.
you could come with a really nice names.
Thanks, Albert.
And occasionally you get new species because people, for example, look at the genetics of things that we already knew existed and decide that they are more different than we thought previously. So they split up one species into two, or move orders around, or there's a lot of retaxonomy going on as we start kind of moving into the genetic era more and more. I don't think that's a phrase, retaxonomy, but
It could be.
I
It
like
could
it.
be.
You just invented it.
Yeah, new word.
Now it's cooling off again.
Do we ever classify new species just from video collected
Yeah.
on the Nautilus? So things that we might not actually sample down here?
Yeah, so what can happen in those cases is that it'll be seen on video and it's distinct enough that it'll be given a name such as SP1, SP2, SP3, and SP is for species, and so it doesn't get an actual name, but it just gets a designation that
Ship is
identifies that
going backward now.
it's not any species name that we can
Come
identify it with. But until we get specimen of those, it's difficult to move much further than that.
Gotcha.
And it's tough because a lot of these corals and I think sponges, you know, they can grow with pretty different morphologies. So you could see something that looks pretty different than what you've been seeing, and then you look at the genetics and it might be a lot more similar than you were thinking it might be.
Oh, that's a funky bamboo over there.
Oh.
And in the deep sea, it's really common to find new species too. Some people give estimates of about almost every cruise you can expect to see new species generally. On this one, we may have already found some new species based on the corals we were seeing. On a cruise I was on in July, we have about 4 different animals that we think might be new species from different deep sea habitats. So it's just so unexplored. You know, we've seen 2% of the seafloor about, so that's 98% that we're
Take your
still
bubble
trying to
cam.
understand, and so many different types of animals that we're still discovering different morphologies of, different different like evolutionary strains of. So it's a big place of discovery still.
What were the sorts of specimens you saw in July that might be new species?
So we have some barnacles, we have some squat lobsters, we
Oh. Hey,
have
can you give me a zoom
some
video?
clams, some mussels.
Oh, wow.
Here's a
Yeah.
dead gramophone sponge. No squat lobsters talking in there.
Well, it only works if they're alive.
Yeah. Oh, naturally. Go wide. What's that? The wind?
The wind is down to 15 knots, 15,
Yeah.
16. Haven't seen it up to 20 for a while now.
Right.
Great. We made a good decision.
That's always nice.
3, 4,
375.
3 plus. Oh, they got the right numbers in there today.
So
you did
Albert,
that.
it's been dropping
yeah,
steady.
I'm figuring out how to read
The
those
what?
gauges.
The wind.
Slowly.
Yeah.
The rest of them were doing okay too. Remember the other day they were like backwards.
All right, I think we need to do some sampling before our watch
Yay.
ends.
I was just thinking we should
Yeah. Gabby's got to get
mix
her
it up
rock.
a
Do
little
you want
bit.
a rock?
I want a rock.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want the rock. I
I
just
kind of
want
want
to
a
grab
rock
it.
to keep.
Gabby, you
I
do
don't want
rock.
to collect it as a
Thanks.
sample. Use it as a paperweight on my desk.
Yeah, I keep waiting to see like coral or something that we haven't
Step or sample?
been seeing.
I
but-
guess we should see what's up on the top first.
Bridge nav step, please.
How far away is waypoint 3?
200 meters.
Do you think we'll get there?
Oh, we will definitely get there.
Okay.
It's just 10 steps.
10 small steps.
Actually, if you think of it, they are quite big. I cannot do steps of 10 meters. I don't know if
You've
you...
raised us a very
They're a
good
ship
point.
size step.
Yeah.
But the ship is 60 meters long. So each
64.
Step, so each step is only a third of the length of the ship, right?
And when I take a step, I
Yeah.
take a step that's about half the length of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should be increasing our step size, Albert.
No.
Not on his watch.
That's not. That's
how it
not.
works, right?
That's not what the nav binder says.
Wow.
That's not the plan.
It's following directions.
It's plans, protocols. Yeah. Bridge nav step, please. 9 to go.
Countdown.
The final countdown.
You think?
Didn't we hear that song earlier?
I did hear that. Yeah. In the kitchen.
I don't know. The kitchen has so wide variety of songs sometimes that makes me confused.
Check your mics, friends.
Still hear ya. I also hear the comforting tippy tap of
That's Dwight.
yeah. I am comforted by it.
It is a nice sound.
Yeah, it's not as aggressive and as fast.
Because she's been practicing.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, you're still on the line.
That must be me then.
Bridge nav, step please.
Can you hear me if I talk like
8.
this?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, then I'll leave the microphone down there and not up by my nose.
No, just put it in front of your mouth and don't breathe.
That's what Albert does.
That's what I do when somebody says, "What's your mic?" I stop breathing and check that it's not me. So I stop breathing until I hear somebody breathing. Then I say, okay, it was not me.
So we're getting a lot of these yellow ones. These are the ones we were seeing before, hey?
Yep.
Okay. Go for Zoom video.
Mushroom coral.
Corals all over the place. The first time we saw mushroom coral on this watch, we were all like, oh, mushroom coral.
I know. It was just one, though.
Yeah.
Now we're like, oh,
Another
You
mushroom
get
coral.
over it
Okay,
so
go
fast.
wide. You never get over octopuses and sharks.
True. True.
I bet that if we saw as many octopuses and sharks as mushroom corals, then we would get
No, I don't think so.
No.
Let's
Because
test
they're
it.
like charismatic and they move around.
If you see that many octopus in one place, they've all got like eggs and stuff. They're really interesting. They're super neat.
Were any of you on the Nautilus when we found all of those octopuses like brooding down? I think it was in Monterey. Were you on that, Gabby?
Oh, not Monterey. In,
I was on
a
for
few other
one
places.
I was there.
that on the Cascadia margin.
Yeah, I was on one where we saw it there, but
Go
that's
for
not
Zoom?
the one though, is it?
No,
There's
that's
like
not
a
the
better
one.
one.
Yeah, but there
Do
were
it-
a lot
Video?
there.
There were. Yeah, they don't
Give me a
they
Zoom.
don't talk about that one. Though.
That
Let's not go to that.
That was in
octopus nursery.
Trinidad
Let's go to the good
Canyon.
one.
There were so many.
The footage of that was crazy. Dwight, were you on that?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I was also on the Atlantis cruise when we went back to it last March.
Oh, cool.
Oh, what'd you guys find on that?
Oh, they were hatching.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, Chad King was out with us, and he did an Alvin dive, and they, I think
Step.
they collected a couple samples
Wait,
Nope.
just wait a
and
minute.
water temperature
Yep.
readings,
Go wide.
and mostly took video.
Hmm.
It was an Alvin engineering dive that we piggybacked on.
We're also
Wow,
a little
cool.
bit streamed out. A little bit, behind with Argus, too.
I think they'll be going back there in a couple of weeks at the end of the Nautilus season, and they'll probably do another dive at that same site
Wow, cool.
on the Nautilus, not the Atlantis.
And I'm not sure about that species. A lot of octopuses are, I think you could say, pretty amazing parents in that they will brood their eggs for long periods of time, not eat, and then essentially go senescent and die after. So they're really given 100%.
Wow.
If we're gonna get a rock here, we're gonna definitely have to use the crowbar.
Yep.
Doesn't
Ooh.
look very promising.
There's a bunch of
Brussels-
life here, though.
There's a
Brussels
Brussels
sprouts.
sprout.
Brussels
A live
sprouts.
Brussels sprout.
Some cool.
Oh, these are pretty. These pink
Yeah.
clothes.
We zoom on the one all the way to the, or the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Of all of those, the little guy, little bushy guy.
Oh, the little bushy one?
Yeah,
It's
looks
like the
like,
least charismatic one.
Well, it's like
Go
a
for
little
zoom.
Chrysogorgid.
Still a good coral.
It's a pretty good coral.
He's just not flashy.
It's not flashy. That's a fact.
It's more of a substance than, you know, style type coral.
Yeah, that's
All right,
fair.
we can
Confident.
zoom on the better
Charismatic
looking,
ones?
more charismatic one on the right. The big guy. Yeah, cool. Looks like
Go wide.
Metallogorgia, but
The like Queen Anne's lace one.
yes. I don't know what that is, but
Oh, okay. That's fair.
What's it called? The Queen Anne's what?
Queen Anne's lace. It's like a wildflower. Like it just grows in all the fields.
Ah.
Go for zoom. This one.
yes.
Okay.
Oh, Queen Anne's. Yeah, no, yeah. That wildflower.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
that
really
is awesome.
pretty. Huh.
What's growing underneath it?
Are those?
They be mushroom corals?
Or little hydroids.
Yeah, it's hard to
Like the
Is
ones
that
on
all
the
the zoom
left
you
look a
have?
lot like mushroom corals.
Yeah, there's a few that have like a couple little.
Yeah, they do. Look
Polyps
like
off of them.
corals.
I think this is mushroom coral best place in the world.
I don't know. I think the last dive we saw like way more.
Yeah, those are all
like
over.
you have like
Sam, are you
20
okay with
in a
me
single
moving
frame.
on?
Yeah, can you come out wide and just see what else is here?
Yeah,
for a
let's go
second?
wide.
Are we taking Niskins on this dive?
Well, I was just thinking of, yeah, we are. I was just thinking about that. We
There's
have
just like a lot of different stuff here.
a few species. Yeah, I think we could pop a
How
Niskin
do you
up here
feel,
if
Mike,
we're in
right
a
now?
good spot to do that.
Okay.
Are we at the top or not quite? I
Not
guess we're
quite.
pretty close though, because there's not much in the sonar.
Well, that bamboo would have been impressive when it was up in the water column. Few meters.
Ooh, that's a cool. Looks like an anemone down there. Big one.
Seeing more and more live
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
It's getting exciting up here. Lots of stuff.
Okay. Better. Great.
Whoa, what is that a just huge bamboo
I
coral?
think
Looks
so.
like
Ah,
a
Wow.
Holy mokes.
Oh
little
my
zoom on it.
gosh. That's wild.
Can
Yeah.
you give me a zoom? There's a lot of current.
Yep, it is.
Good thing you got your new Super Duty pump.
I know.
Is that a sponge, that clear thing on there?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's
Sponge
not
growing on the coral?
Video, can you go wide for me?
And Gabby, if we're in a good spot, we could do a Niskin here.
Just exactly right where we are.
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah, we're perfect now. This is the perfect spot.
Do you see that large
I'll let you get it. if you
bamboo
want.
coral in Argus?
Oh yeah, that's a cool view.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Port side of Herc on Argus.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a
yeah.
huge one. You can like see its shadow beneath it.
Nick said bottom left. I was looking at the tether. It's like, Nick, that's the tether, Nick.
Okay, I will say
You see
that
like a
this is
football at the
sample
end.
99. So if we find a rock to sample after, it will be sample 100.
Oh, that's such good
Whoa.
incentive. That means we've got a lot to do in the next half an hour.
Yeah, I would take one of these corals, but I think it's all
No,
the same
don't
stuff
think of
they
them.
sampled earlier.
I mean, these rocks look
Yes,
fantastic.
to hell with them. Let's do everything.
They're awesome rocks. They just have little geologic meaning for us to understand the evolution.
Look at your porch light here. Yes.
But while we're here, we might as well get one.
Temperature's coming down quite nicely in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels a lot better.
Oh, good.
Not melting anymore.
No alarms on the Cinedex.
No, everything looks good over here.
Great.
Oh, I see the jaws have been put on in the right orientation. Yeah. So don't. I can tell because they go all the way around infinitely.
Number 8, yep.
Did you want a coral piece here or no?
No, I don't think so. They sampled Chris and Georgia 2 bamboos already. You know, it's coming from. Especially if we can extend that out.
Oh, almost. Go down into it, I think it'd be easier. We almost had it though. Or not. Nice. Good. Yeah,
Good.
you got it.
Thanks.
just one sample away from 100.
So
Okay.
instead of getting the rock from right here, can we, if you look at the Argus view, there's like this crevice. I'd like to get closer and look for a rock that may have dropped off like a little ledge along that crevice, if possible. In Argus, it's kind of trends out off to your left. So maybe go forward a little bit and then follow it if you can. See how the rocks in the crevice look, well, like zoom on them, they may not be as completely encrusted with the manganese botryoidal texture.
Sorry.
Left hand, yeah.
Okay.
Can you zoom on like those rocks right in there?
Yeah. Give me a zoom video.
Yeah, my eyes aren't so good. Okay.
What do you guys think?
No, thanks.
Yeah, no.
Okay, go wide.
Still knobby.
It's because they're too knobby.
Too nobular.
Well, so we already have a couple samples of the knobby stuff, and I'm looking for something that's more unaltered basalt, if it exists.
I think that's a
Yeah.
sponge.
Sam, what
Oh,
were you
is
saying?
it?
I would say it must be.
Oh, the white.
Yeah. Is it? Is it?
Could be a
It
piece
might
of
not be.
carbonate.
Do you see that like whiter colored rock or sponge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting it centered up here real quick.
Rock or sponge?
I think it's a
Go for
sponge.
zoom.
Sponge.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Oh,
I think it's a rock.
I think
It
I
is
was
a
definitely
rock.
wrong.
Can we poke it?
Oh,
Yeah, we
man.
can poke
Interesting.
it.
Would this be a good crowbar one?
Let's grab
It
it.
looks like some like
It's
like
different
a
enough.
growth of some sort on
Yeah, it
the
Oh,
looks-
rock.
could it actually be a piece
Yeah.
of? I think it might be an animal.
Yeah, I can't.
Go wide
I can't tell.
or half wide or something. Yeah. We can poke it.
I always find it funny how many moments there are when we're unsure if something is a rock or an animal.
Okay, go wide.
But I mean, other than that, we basically know.
I've collected a sponge before thinking it was a
I've collected a rock before thinking it was a rock, but it was actually a crab.
I do remember that. That was not a popular move.
No.
Okay, you guys want to poke it?
Let's poke it.
Okay.
See if it's soft.
Number 100, maybe.
Maybe.
Are you guys more interested in it if it's a rock than if it's a sponge? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I think we only want it if it's a rock.
She wants to pick it up. It's true.
Yeah, it does look pretty porous.
Okay.
good spot of this
Mike, did you want this
sample.
one?
No, you go for it.
Sweet.
All you.
Thanks.
I think it might be a rock.
Should we take bets?
I don't know, it does look like it's kind of
I'm
attached
betting
to that rock.
sponge.
below.
Yeah.
Not a rock.
Yeah, that's something that's strange.
You think it's a sponge?
I'm
I
leaning-
don't know. I mean,
Do
it
we
looks
wanna
like a
collect it
growth.
if it is?
It could be like a non-biologic growth of some sort on the rock. It's not necessarily. It could also be a very covered sponge, a very sedimented sponge.
Yeah, I mean, I think if
I
it's
guess
a
just
sponge,
poke-
it's
just
dead,
poke it
so I don't
first,
think we need to collect it.
Okay, can you give me a zoom video? That looks very sponge-like.
Do you want to
doesn't
go
It
tight
does,
all the
yeah.
way
It
to
does.
the
Sponge,
Yeah, go all the
sponge
way.
divers collect.
Go all the way.
Huh.
Poke it.
Okay, I'll poke it. Okay, go out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
a-
a rock.
Time for poking.
There's
There
one
is
of those
good.
old telephone sponges. The top part fell over.
Yeah.
Telephone sponge?
Yeah, the gramophone
The,
sponge.
the
Oh.
squat lobsters. Oh. Moment of truth.
No, Cryanoid down in front.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like, what's going on over there? Hi, guys.
Ooh.
Oh,
just
hi.
stabbed it.
It's self-sampling, guys.
Alright, guess not.
Can
Huh.
you draw a face in it?
I already did the eyes. Go wide video. That is self-sampling.
Hmm.
Too bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Gab doesn't get to grab a rock.
Well, we have 10 minutes left. We can still.
'Kay.
poke.
Yeah. Should we move? Just keep moving up to the top of this and see what's
Yeah.
up there, or do you
Okay.
think there's more likely to be something down that fell off?
Yeah, just. Yeah, you ready to go? You're pretty close.
And I'm ready to go.
Yeah. All right, call it in.
Bridge nav step, please.
So question for science. Do we ever see fungus that live down in the deep sea? Or do you know of any?
Fungus is a plant, isn't it?
Fungus is a fungus.
Fungus,
Yeah.
yeah, it's different.
I don't know if there are deep sea fungi, funguses.
So fungi reported from deep sea environments mostly belong to the phylum Ascomycota. Few yeast species.
There's some at vents. Or maybe that's what you're.
Ancient fungi found in deep sea mud. See, I'm telling y'all, the mud.
So it sounds like yes, but we don't know. tons
Fungal
about it.
diversity in deep sea extreme environments.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like yes, but somewhat recently realized and not probably very well studied.
Yeah. Huh.
It's probably all the stuff where we're just like, ah, looks like an encrusting tunica.
Another step.
I'm not surprised. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like
Bridge
fungus
nav
is
step,
just
please.
everywhere.
How about that rock there? Doesn't it look cut on one side?
Let's zoom on it.
Which one here?
The
Somewhere?
no, the one, the smaller one.
On the, yeah, to
Left.
the left now.
Okay.
That one looks like if
Go for
like
zoom
this side
video?
was cutted, no?
Looks kind of knobby to me, but
Yeah.
I thought the
But
last rock was a rock and it was a sponge. So.
Okay, go wide.
No deal?
I think so. I think no deal.
Can you keep following the crevice though?
Sure.
It seems to be oriented about the way the ship is moving. So.
Any chance you could center the camera up? I know that's like the bane of your guys' existence.
Oh, no, it's this. Nope, I did go out actually. Okay. No, it's better for me to have the camera centered. Okay, I think we're in good shape now.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Look at this, like,
Thank you, Nick.
look at this, like, coral garden up here that you guys were hoping for. It's here.
It is
Yeah, it's so
starting to look a
cool.
little coral garden, yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
You can go over there if you want. You don't have to follow the crevice.
Well, Dwight, I feel like we shouldn't stray from our mission here, which is to find a
There
rock.
you go.
Follow the
Well
plan.
done, Gabby. Well done.
I'm so
Oh, look.
excited.
Follow the plan.
There's more
So pleased.
self-sampling sponges. Look at them all. I see the appeal, Albert. I see the appeal.
And yet.
And yet, here I am. My plans for life end at November 8th. See, I do make a plan. I have a plan up till November 8th.
Zoom on this little pile of rocks and
Okay,
see if
go for zoom
something
video.
looks like it is attractive. Not so bad. You pan up a little or drive up a little.
Yep.
See these more like angular ones on the right?
Uh-huh.
You can try to get one of those.
Okay, go wide
Or
video.
actually, there's a pretty good one to the left of the lasers.
Okay,
Not the big one the lasers are on, but the one just to the lower
Yeah?
left of that.
go. Is that all the way wide? Thank you.
That one or the one above?
Okay, that's kind of in a thing.
Yeah. Can you
That's
not
going
reach
to
it?
be a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if we can.
I don't think I can
Yes.
reach in there.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
I am happy to try, but I think that's a bit reachy. Will no other rock do, Dwight?
Well, I'm trying to get one that isn't
No,
as
that's not
encrusted
gonna go.
in the,
I don't think that's,
That's
gonna
not
work.
gonna go.
okay, never mind.
You don't.
Keep
No.
going.
Okay. There is some awesome stuff to look at here, though. Wow. You're welcome, 4 to 8. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow.
all these critters.
Beautiful.
That's
This is
amazing.
amazing.
What's
Oh
around
my
the
Love all
corner?
the
gosh.
sea pens too.
What's around the corner?
So do you guys
Or whatever they
want to keep everything moving along, or should we
No,
pause here for a bit?
let's hang out here for a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Okay.
Probably for until the changeover.
Okay, sounds good.
I would guess.
Cool.
Yeah, can we get some zooms on? I'm interested in some of these brighter yellow corals, and then also these little white wisps, like coming directly out
Oh
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
rock.
Okay, sounds good. Wow, what a spot.
That's amazing. That's
That's
so
cool.
beautiful.
So this brighter yellow coral,
Yeah,
okay. Go for zoom video.
it looks more like a plexaurid. Yeah, cool.
Are those rock pens?
No, I think those are sponges.
Oh wow, we haven't seen
Whoa.
anything like that.
No,
Something different, right?
they're
Yeah,
not
they
corals.
look like cattails
Yeah,
coming off.
and that yellow one is either a plexaurid or it could be a Canthogorgia.
Can you guys see behind those corals that giant thing that's in between the crevice?
I think it's a
It's
fallen sponge.
Yeah, sponge. Looks like.
Fallen sponges are like the new mimic octopus.
I think they are mimic octopus.
Yeah.
I think that's good on these guys, Gabby,
Okay.
if we want to check out
Go
some
wide.
more of the stuff up here.
The wispy
do
things
I
are
ever.
really-
This is amazing. This is super fun.
Are
Yeah,
those,
this is
those
awesome.
white wispy ones?
And
Are
if
they
you wanted to
corals
just
or
get
sponges?
a highlight of this Iridogorgia,
The which now?
the Iridogorgia right at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. Everybody loves those.
I know, it's always like you have so many highlights of it, but
It's a crowd favorite. It's
yeah.
good.
I don't really have Mike's like Iridogorgia like highlight foo. He's amazing at these.
Well, we need to practice them.
Yeah, that's
Practice.
fair. That's totally
Let's see
fair.
if you can look down the middle of the thing.
Oh, cool. That's a good idea. Can you give me a little more
It's
zoom
cool with
video?
everything in the background of it
Yeah.
though. Like usually they're, well, not usually. We've been seeing them mostly
More